Hi everybody. Welcome to my live. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for joining me. It's a beautiful evening here in San Antonio, nice and sunny. The temperature is only 98, so below 100, so I'm excited about that. It seems really nice. It was actually, we got a little bit of a cold front yesterday with some rain, which was awesome because we really needed the rain. And so it's just a tad bit cooler, which is great. I'm hoping it'll keep going down a little bit as we start to get towards the middle of September. Yeah, in other weather news, oh my goodness, Florida. I'm very afraid for Florida, and I wish everyone luck. And I hope everybody will be okay and get out. All right, so I have a really fun card class tonight. Thank you for joining me. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some botanical cards. I have a set of 4 cards tonight, so I'm excited to show those to you. I've had the paper for I've used the paper in some other projects in previous classes, and I just am in love with this paper. I love the colors. It's so pretty. And then I got the Cling stamp set, so we're going to use that, and I think it's going to be lots of fun. Okay, so let's take care of business first. Hi, Carol. Welcome. I do a share contest every week. And if you share my video, I put you in a drawing to win the contest. So I look at both my Facebook pages, my Facebook business page, my Facebook personal page, and then I also check YouTube, and then I put everybody's name in to a drawing. So the name I pulled from last week, let me show you first what I'm giving away this week. And these are retired products, but I think they're pretty awesome. So I am giving away this kind of cloud embossing folder. I've got a little glare with my light tonight. And this set of pearl basic jewels. And then also this really awesome set that's got it's adhesive backed studs. And it's got just some really nice shapes in there in the metallics. So I'm going to send all these 3 things to our winner, which for this week is Pam Simmons. So congratulations, Pam. I will put these in the mail for you, and thank you for sharing. And thank you to everybody for sharing. I really appreciate when you share my video. It really helps me out, so thank you all. So this week I'm going to give away some more retired product. I did order some things in my order this week. I think it's coming Friday. Of some new products. So next week, share, I'll give away something from the new catalog, which is going to be coming out very soon. So this week I have the Scenic Garden stamp set. And I also am giving away these opal rounds, which are really pretty. Let me show you those up close. So that's what I'm giving this week. All you have to do is share my video and then write shared in the comments so they know that you shared, because it doesn't always show up just when you share. Sometimes it says it's private and it won't let me see who it is. Okay, let's get making some cards. Let me turn my camera around and we will get started. All right. Okay, let's make sure we're coming up. Okay, waiting to see myself, still waiting. Sometimes I wait too long. I should do this right away, right? I might have to actually go to my profile page and make sure I'm there. There I am. Whoops. Hold on. Sorry for the delay. Okay, good, because I want to be able to see the comments. Okay, so new catalog is coming out September 6th. Can't order it from it yet if you're a customer. Demonstrators have been able to order this month, so I've gotten some really fun things. I can't wait to start the projects in this catalog. So I think starting with next week's live, we'll do projects from this catalog. So I'm excited to show you guys this next week. This week, we're working off of page 95, and this is the inked and tiled set. And this is inked botanicals paper that we're going to use. We're going to use this beautiful Lost Lagoon ribbon. And I did not, so this comes as a bundle. I hope this is high enough on the page. It might not be. Let me move it up a little bit. This bundle comes with the stamp set and 2 punches. I did not order the 2 punches yet. I don't have them, so we're just going to be using the stamp set for our cards tonight. Okay, and that's page 95. Here's a couple of samples from the catalog of cards made with this suite. Okay, so these are the cards we're going to make tonight in a variety of different sentiments. This one is just Hello Friend. We've got a happy birthday card, just a note, and lots of love. So lots of choices with the sentiments. You could make them all birthday, you could make them all thank you, whatever you need. They're all interchangeable, so that's really nice and really fun. Here is the set, up close. Hi, Renee. Up close and personal, inked and tiled set. You can see all the different stamps in here. I think this is pretty much empty because we're going to be using most of these tonight. For the first card, we're going to do this one right here. And I'm using the Countryside Corners dies, and we're going to cut out a couple of pieces with the dies right here. And then I wanted to keep it kind of angular for the sentiment. So I went into my Something Fancy dies, and I took this hexagon out of that set for the sentiment. All right, so here are our pieces for this card. I think tonight's class will go pretty quickly because I think these cards are pretty easy to put together. All right, so this week we're starting with Pretty Peacock, 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. 5 1/4 by 4 of basic white cardstock. That's going to be our inside. We might as well take care of that now. And then I have this designer series paper. This is the inked Botanicals designer series paper. So I took, both sides are really pretty. Look at that. I love that side too. I think it's so pretty. And so this is, let me show you a pack of the paper. Here's a pack right here. Let me just open it up. My other packs are just cut to pieces. So let me just show you a full pack just so you can get kind of an idea. It comes with 4 sheets of each, and these are 6x6 designer series papers. And they all have the same color theme. And I just think they're beautiful. I love this one for fall, and this is one of my favorite colors right here. We're going to use this one, we're going to use this one, and they all coordinate, so you can do fronts, backs, all kinds of beautiful things with this paper. Look at these fall leaves too, right? So just gorgeous, gorgeous paper, and I love these colors. Okay. So we've got this one right here, and this is 5 1/4 by 4, and this is 4 inches by 3/4. So let's just we're going to just keep the inside of the card really simple tonight. Let me see, I've got my seal, but I think I'm almost out. We're definitely going to run out of seal, but that's okay. There's plenty more. So we'll just center this. We're going to just add the strip across the bottom, and then the inside of our card will be complete. Now, you could do another stamp in here if you want. You could do a sentiment. You could stamp some of these flowers pretty in. I think that would be pretty. I probably should have done that. However you want to decorate the inside. You can decorate the envelope if you like. There's lots of things you can do. Okay, so we have our 5 1/4 by 4 sheet of DSP. Let's put that down too. And then I think we'll start on some stamping. Well, I'll show you the other pieces first. Okay, so there's basically the front of our card right there. That's not super straight. Okay, then those dies I showed you, I have Lost Lagoon and Basic White. And the Basic White is what we're going to stamp our flowers on. So let me get just a little piece of paper. Okay, hi Lisa. Okay, you can see I was already playing with this, right? I was looking to see, would stamping off be a good idea? Let's flip that over and use the other side here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get out this flowery stamp right here. And we're going to take the Lost Lagoon and stamp that in Lost Lagoon. Put this up here. All right, and I kind of want to put this, I'm going to say right about here, so it kind of fills the space, right like that. That looks pretty, and you could just leave it like that. That looks really pretty, right? But we're going to add another layer, and we're going to use some Pretty Peacock, and then we'll add this leaf right over, okay? So just ink that up, and we're going to just put it right over, right about here. I want to get the whole thing on the border, so maybe like right like that. Okay, and that's pretty. And it's not perfect. You can see how there's like parts that it's not going to be perfect. It's meant to be that way. So I think that looks just fine like that. Okay, super easy card, right? So that's, let me do this piece too. And this way, there's kind of a longer side. I'm going to put that sideways. And we'll do that in Lost Lagoon. And I just did Hello Friend on that one. Right in the middle. Okay, let's put it together. So a little bit of seal on this one. Right like that. All right, then I'm going to take the ribbon, and it's Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon, and I'm going to tie it around. And I want to do that first so I can, once this is on, I'm going to put the other part a little bit to the side so it's kind of centered between the ribbon and the side. So let me make sure I have a long enough piece here. I had to order some more of this for the make and takes. Although I will say a roll of ribbon with Stampin' Up! Goes really far. There's a lot of ribbon on those rolls. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. That's good length, and I wasted a little bit of ribbon. That's okay. All right, so we've got our bow like that. I'm actually going to take a little glue dot and kind of secure it right like that so it doesn't move around a lot. So I'm just going to pick one up on my scissors. Hold on. And just tuck it underneath to kind of hold that in place. Okay, then we're going to take this part and put it up on dimensionals. Let's get, oops. I feel like, yep, I missed one. And then we'll kind of put that in the center-ish, like that. Make sure it's straight. Okay, so for this is mostly going to be on here. So I'm going to take some seal across the top and then just one dimensional. And I'm actually going to place a dimensional on the card right here first, like that. And we'll put our sentiment right in the corner going across, just like that. Okay, now let's add a little bit of embellishment. So what I used for this one, this is the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. So it does have this Lost Lagoon color. So I used a big and 2 small ones. Use what you have. If you don't like these two, you don't have to use these. You could use clear ones. You could use, there's lots of choices now. You could use white sequins. There's lots of different choices. So use what you like. I just thought the Lost Lagoon was kind of cool because, you know, it matches Lost Lagoon. But then when I put it on, I'm like, it's not a perfect match, but I think it's pretty good. All right. So, oh, Lisa says she gets to comment. Yay. All right. So that's it. Card number 1, all finished. Okay, moving on to the next one. I like this one too because I love these colors. So we're going to be using Petal Pink and the Calypso Coral. So the other things we're going to use on this card are the deckled rectangle dies. So we're going to cut a layer of each for that. And then I wanted something a little bit different. So I went with this oval, and I got this from the All That dies, this oval right here. Okay, so let me get out our pieces. Thanks, you guys. Thank you very much. Okay. These are our pieces for this one. Okay. Same card base that we've been making. 8.5, 5.5, square to 4 1/4. This is Calypso Coral cardstock. This one's going to open like this. So let me put that aside. Let me arrange my things here. Okay, next layer is going to be that same DSP. And this is 5 1/4 by 4. And we can go ahead and put that on as long as we have it in our hand. And I want to kind of make sure the leaves are right side up. And we'll get that centered. So that's going to be our first layer right there. Okay. This is going to be for the inside, and we're going to stamp on this. So this is what the inside is look like. I'm just doing some simple stamping on the inside. And I think that looks really pretty. And we're going to also stamp on this piece, basic white on the deckled rectangle, petal pink, the deckled rectangle. This is just a size bigger for our frame. And then Calypso Coral, I have that oval I was telling you about. We're going to stamp and emboss, heat emboss this one. Okay, but let's do the stamping first. Let me get my sheet back out because we're going to stamp a little bit off, right? So let me clean this stamp off. That is not what I want in my petal pink. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, we'll see. Let me just move my cards out of the way. All right, let me just make sure because that's really dark. It gets in my stuff. Okay. All right, so let's pull out the petal pink first because we're going to do those layers first. All right. So I'm going to take one for the inside and kind of stamp it here at the bottom. And then the next one, I'm going to do 3 different petal pinks going across this one and kind of filling the area. I'm going to do one. I'm going to kind of go off to the edges. And this one, I think I'll kind of go off towards the top a bit. And then this one just kind of down here. Okay, and then the next layer, we're going to do with the Calypso Coral. So let me just brush that off again really quickly. I'm just going to do a test one to make sure it's coming off dark enough. And we'll just do a couple over the other ones like that. Okay. That's all we're going to do for this one. And then we're going to go back to the inside one and just do one across here. Let me get this out of the way so you don't see the fold underneath when I stamp. Okay, so that's it for our inside. Again, these images are meant to be not perfect like that. Okay, let us do our heat embossing. See if I can remember to use my embossing buddy this time. Get out my tweezers, my embossing powder, and my Versamark. And we're just going to do Happy Birthday on this one. Now let's see if I can get it right in the middle. That's good. I'm going to pick it up and then we'll put our white emboss powder over it. Doing a second coat, not necessary, but I don't know. I've gotten in the habit of doing that. Okay, just powder out of here. And then let me get my heat tool. That's the only thing we're going to emboss tonight. It's just this one thing. Okay. Now you could also just do a sentiment in white and stamp it in Calypso Coral, or the petal pink and stamp it in Calypso Coral. I just wanted the layer on top to be Calypso Coral. And I do love the heat emboss. I think it looks so pretty. Okay. Okay, let's put it together. All right, inside, that's easy. Okay. This layer is just going to get sealed down to this layer. And then we'll get some dimensionals. Oops, we used 2. Okay. We're going to center this, and then we're going to tie ribbon around again. So this time I'm using this petal pink ribbon, and this comes in the duo. And I think the other ribbon, is it lemon lime twist that goes with it? And so we're just going to wrap this around like we did with the other card, and we're going to tie a bow. Make sure I have enough room to tie my bow. I thought this ribbon matched really nicely. That's what I love about Stampin' Up! Everything coordinates, right? So you can't go wrong just putting things together that match. It's like Garanimals. Do you guys remember that? I'm really dating myself. I can't remember if my kids had any of those clothes or not. Was that kind of an 80s thing? It was supposed to make it easy for kids to match their clothes. Okay, not the best. Let's see, I want a little bit longer tail. Okay, great. Okay, so there's our bow, and the last thing we have to do, the second to the last, is pop this up. We have a little piece right there. I'm just going to put that there. I'm just going to take a sand eraser and just try and work that little piece of white off. Okay, that was easy. Okay. I reverted back to my favorite basic rhinestone jewels, rhinestone basic jewels. I'm going to open up a new pack because my other one is a mess now. And I'm just using some small ones, and we'll just put these around. These are really inexpensive too. These are one of the least expensive ones in the catalog, I believe. And they just go with everything. I think they're beautiful. Okay, you guys, card number 2, nice and easy, right? All right, we're moving along pretty good tonight, right? All right, so this is the next one we're going to do. This one that's just a note. Again, using the colors of the card, we're just going to do our inside like this. Now, I do want to say, I've mixed some colors, right? So I have, this is kind of a very vanilla background, and I did use white. Same thing in here. I've got very vanilla, but I did use these in white. And it's okay to mix whites and creams. Everybody might not agree with that, but I don't mind mixing them. So I went ahead and mixed them on this card. If you don't like it, either then you can just change these pieces to very vanilla if you would like to. But I like the way it looked with the stamp on the white. I think it's a little bit more vibrant on the white like that. So, okay, what we're going to use in addition for this card is the Scallop Contours dies. I took this die out and I just die cut along my piece of crushed curry. If you order the make and takes, I will do all the die cutting for you this week, right? Because we're not using any die cuts, we're not using any punches, so I will do all the die cutting for you. You just have to have the stamp set, and you'll get the paper too. So all you really need is a stamp set. So we're using that. And of course, my favorite Stylish Shapes dies, we're using this little banner die right here for the Just a Note. And we're using this square to punch out our squares. So I cut out 4 of the squares, 3 for the outside and 1 for the inside for this card. Okay, so here are the pieces for this card. All right, this time we're going with Lost Lagoon. And then I have our inside, and we'll just wait on that till the end. Okay, so 8.5 by 5.5 square to 4 1/4. This one is also going to open this way. we have a piece of the designer series paper, again, 5 1/4 by 4. We're keeping it simple tonight, right? Easy measurements, easy everything. And then I have this piece right here. And this started, it's 5 1/4 across, because it'll be the full length of the piece of paper, the 5 1/4 by 4 DSP, right? So it's 5 1/4 across, and then it is 3 1/2. So I started at 3 1/2, and then just put this not too close to the edge, but somewhat close to the edge when I die cut it. So this will be die cut for you in the Make and Takes. Then I just have this piece of Calypso Coral. This is 5 1/4 by 2 inches. Okay, so that's going to be a layer for us as well. Here are the squares. I've die cut 4 of them, and we're going to stamp on those, and then we're also going to stamp our sentiment. So let me set those up. Okay, now this is the stamp we're going to use for our flowers. It's just this little flower, and this flower matches the flowers that are in the designer series paper. Okay, so we're going to do 3 of them in crushed curry and 1 of them in the Calypso Coral. So let me start by getting out the crushed curry. Okay, so that you can see it has a center too, right? And if you stamp it, it's going to be yellow. And I didn't want the whole thing to be yellow. So what I did was I just inked up my stamp, and I just took my finger and brushed off the inside of the little flower. And then I took a Stampin' Blend, and this is Calypso Coral, and I just colored it in. Now, a lot of times the Stampin' Write markers are the good ones to color your stamps with, right? But because of the way that this set, you can see it's got a lot of like white pieces. It really doesn't matter if the whole thing isn't solid. Then I'm going to huff on it and stamp it on my square. So again, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Okay, well that didn't come out too good. I guess I waited too long. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of maybe dot it in and see, or let's try that. Let's just try that again. Let's try again. Do I have another square? All right, give me 1 second to find another square, and we will try again. Plenty of squares. All right, this time less talking, more stamping, right? Or I might have to get out my Calypso Coral Stampin' Write marker and do it if this isn't working as well. If this doesn't work, I'm going to get out the other marker, because maybe that's what I used in the first place. No, that came out okay. All right, let's do it again. So we want 3 of these with the crushed curry. Might as well just leave this open, right? Okay, 1 more. And then we're going to flip it and do the opposite. Make sure I'm pressing in the middle too, so it goes down all the way. Okay, I think those look fine. Let me clean this off and close these up. All right, now we'll do the same thing here. Now, let me try using the Stampin' Write so we can see what the difference is. So this is crushed curry in the Stampin' Write, which is good because there isn't a crushed curry Stampin' Blend, but I used the Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend with it, which was kind of a dark yellow anyway. Okay, I think that came out really good. All right, the last thing we're going to do for stamping is just do the sentiment, and I did that in Lost Lagoon. Okay, hold on, I'm making a mess here. Okay. And we're doing just a note. This is very small, so it's going to be really tricky for me to get it right. I'm going to have to pull it down a little, you guys. Sorry. I need to be able to kind of get over it. Okay. All right, stamping complete. Let's start layering everything up. Okay. So this piece can go down just like it is. Okay, sorry, I'm just taking a look just for a second. Oh, hi, Lois. I'm sorry, I had to look at the comments. I couldn't help myself. We're gonna do the crushed curry layer next. And just put that kind of in the middle, side to side, like that. Okay, now this layer, we're gonna use some more of that Lost Lagoon ribbon. So I'm gonna get a couple pieces out that are just a little bit longer than the piece of cardstock. So I've got 2 pieces like that. All right. So I'm gonna flip this over and just put a little bit of adhesive along here. You could also scotch tape it or however you want to secure it. So I'm gonna kind of go towards the middle with these. Okay, there's one. And we'll move the other one right about here. I'm gonna pull them a little bit tight, so they're just a little bit stretched out. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's put some dimensionals on the back and put it onto our card. I guess I shouldn't have that one on there because I don't want it to not be level. Good thing no one sees the back of this stuff, right? That doesn't look too good, but no one will see it. I feel like the dimensionals aren't my friend tonight. Okay. So this is going to go edge to edge as well and kind of centered in between the scallops. Okay, just like that. If you don't like this moving back and forth, again, you can do our little trick like we did before with the glue dots, where you just take the scissor and just place a glue dot underneath it to kind of secure it in place. Whoa. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so it's not moving around. I'm doing it in the middle, so that'll be covered up by a square anyway if it sticks out a little bit. Okay, I think that's a little bit more secure that way. Okay, then we're going to pop these up. Now, I'm going to put this one, this one, this one. I'm going to try and place my, when I did this card, they're a little wonky being level because I didn't place my dimensionals right. So I'm going to try and put the dimensionals in between and see if we can get away with just one dimensional in each one. We'll see how that works. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut some edges for the top and the bottom. Okay, so let's put the middle one in first, which is the Calypso Coral. I think that's centered between the scallops. Then we'll put this one right here. I feel like that's working out pretty good. And this one right here. Okay, and then we're going to get dimensionals, which barely fit on this little one. And I didn't add any embellishments to this as far as you know, little gems or anything, because I felt like it was enough just like it was, like that. But you could if you wanted to. Okay, so for on the inside, I just have my Very Vanilla. We'll put that right here. And then I have this strip of 5 1/4 by 3/4 across the bottom. And then we're just going to put that square on top. And I'm just using seal to put that down. Now again, if you don't like the way this looks, you could have done it in Very Vanilla too instead of white. Okay, so that's it for the inside. So that's it, card number 3, all finished. I feel like this is a nice set of cards, pretty colors. It's kind of borderline fallish, right? Oh, thanks, Lisa. Okay, last card. We're just gonna do a gatefold card. This says lots of love. So let me just slide that off. And the inside, I didn't do anything fancy in here, just some cardstock with a little DSP. Now, I did go this whole time with Very Vanilla. I didn't use any white this time, so everything is Very Vanilla that we're going to be using. All right. So, pieces for this. Okay. So this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. And this time I scored it at 2 1/8 on both sides. So I scored it 2 1/8, I flipped it over, scored it at 2 1/8 again. Make sure these line up before you use your bone folder for the creases so that it closes nicely. Okay, this is for the inside, Very Vanilla, 5 1/4 by 4 with our piece of DSP. Looks familiar, right? Most of this stuff out of the way. Again, you could do a sentiment in here. You could stamp the flowers, whatever you'd like to do for the inside of the card. I just kept it super simple. You can do a lot of writing in there. And we'll just center that right in the inside. Okay. Now, on this side, I have these 2 pieces of the DSP. We're going to put one on each side of that. And this is, let me see if I can remember. It is 5 1/4. Hold on, let me look at my cheat sheet. 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And those are 2 of those that are cut out. We might make it with the glue. It hasn't run out yet. I'm shocked. Okay, so we've got this. And then this. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, now we need to start working on the belly band. So this piece right here is 11 inches by 1 inches, and I did fold it on one side to make it fit inside the envelopes to send to folks, but we'll come to that last. All right, so I have from the Stylish Shaped dies that we used before, 2 circles. Looks like the biggest one and the second biggest one. And this is Lost Lagoon and Very Vanilla. And then a Very Vanilla, the little banner from that same set. So we're going to do stamping on these 2 pieces. Let me pull this out one more time. All right. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. Let me clean it first. So I was very careful. And this is going to be 2 steps that we're doing this, okay? So I wanted the flowers to be different colors. So I'm just being careful with how I use it on my ink pads. So I'm going to start by inking up just this big flower part with the Calypso Coral. So that's all I want is this part right here. That looks pretty good. All right. Then crushed curry for the little one. All right, this one's a little trickier. Let me see how I want to do this. Right like this, just in the corner. All right, so now I have my 2 different colors. Then I'm going to use a Stampin' Up marker, and this is Lost Lagoon, to color in the stems. So I'm just going to run that across. And these flowers for the first stamp aren't going to show, so I don't need to color those flowers right now. I'm just doing the stems. All right, I'm gonna huff on it and cross my fingers and get it where I want it on our circle, which I think is right about here. Make sure I stamp it really firmly. Okay, so far so good, right? All right, next I wanted to add a little bit of leaves. So I started with this one here, and let me clean this off. You don't have to be crazy like this either if you don't want to be. You could just use that other leaf stamp to do it. But I wanted the colors, the greens, to all match. When I first did it, I used the Lost Lagoon for this stamp right here, and it didn't come out as dark as the Lost Lagoon marker. So we're going to color it with the marker this time so that all the green matches, okay? So I'm just using this leaf right here. I'm just going to color it. Let me make sure. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Okay. So the only thing being stamped right here is just this leaf. And so I'm going to stamp it up higher, like right here, just so it's going to come off the sheet, just like that. So I've got that little leaf there. Then I'm going to take this one, and like I said, I'm going to color it because I want it to be the same exact color. Now, it wouldn't look bad if you didn't do it that way. It was just lighter color, and for whatever reason, that kind of bothered me a little bit. Okay. So I think this one and this one are the two that are going to show up. I want to make sure I get plenty of ink on there. And these will come out pretty imperfect on here, but that's fine. That's what we're going for. That's the look we want. I'm going to huff, and then we'll put that right like this. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, let me show it a little bit closer so you can see how that came out. I like it. All right. Last stamp of the evening will be in Calypso Coral. We're going to do Lots of Love on this little bitty die cut. Okay. All right. Now I believe that's all we need to put our card together. Okay. So just some seal to put this on the other circle layer. Okay, just like that. All right, then we can put our Lots of Love on with a couple dimensionals. Okay, we'll just put this kind of right here at the bottom. All right, so for our belly band, let's see, I did this at 3.5, I think. 1, 2, 3.5. So it was 3.5 that I just did a little score line. And so that's going to wrap around the front here. Then I'm just going to pull it so it's kind of tight because I don't want it to slide off our card unless I slide it off the card, right? So I'm just going to fold it this way across like that, okay? Then I can take it off and I can use my bone folder to make the crease look kind of nice. All right. Then I'm just going to adhere that with some glue. You could trim it down too if you didn't want it to go all the way across, but none of that's going to show. So I'm just going to use a little bit of seal this way and cover this up. No one's going to see it now. Okay. I'm going to use some dimensionals to put this part up. And I'll just put 3 going across here. Hopefully I didn't go too wide on this. I don't think I did. Whoa. And I'm going to tilt it. No, I'm not going to tilt it because I want my Lots of Love to be straight. So I'll just leave it like that. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of linen thread. Just a little bow. I've got a piece already cut here, so let's use that one. And I want it just a little bit small. And we'll just add that. With a glue dot, I'm going to kind of roll it up with my finger. And put it on the back of our bow and just put it right here at the top of the flower, like that. Okay, so this time I'm using, these are, let me pull them out and see if I can read what it says, Iridescent Pastel Gems. And the colors are Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, and it says gold. Although I'm having a hard time getting gold out of that, but we're going to use some of the Calypso Coral, and I just used 4 of the small ones. So I just wanted to add 2 on each side. And if I didn't get it in the center, this is really going to accent the fact that it's not in the center, right? But that's okay. And that is it, you guys. Let me put this one back together. And that was pretty quick and easy, right? We did our 4 cards. Let me bring them back and show you guys what we did again. All right. Now you could make them all birthday if you need a lot of birthday cards, all thank you. I think these would be really pretty thank you cards. Nice, happy birthday. Just a note if you want to send something to a friend, and lots of love. So that is our set for tonight. If you would like the make and takes, place your order of $35 or more at my website by Saturday, and then I will send you a set of the make and takes for free. Like I said, this week, all the die cuts, all the paper is done for you. All you need is the stamp set to make these cards, the ribbon, the embellishments. I send all that to you. Here is the host code for this week for the orders. If you don't want to place an order, you can also purchase the make and takes for $20. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me just tell you a couple quick things. If you would like the project and measurement sheet, you can email me. If you're on my email list, you'll get it tomorrow in the email. So you'll have all the dimensions here for that. The 31st is the last day to redeem if you have coupons that you haven't redeemed yet. Redeem those. Also, the Kits collection, up to 30% off, is ending on the 31st. That's Thursday, right? All right, thank you guys. I'm reading your comments. So nice. Thank you. Paper Pumpkin, you guys, is with love and gratitude this month. If you want to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, I think it's a really, really beautiful set. I'm excited to get it. And I did go ahead and order. You can do the add-on journal if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. The journal is $15. And you guys, this is beautiful. I think it is so pretty. It almost kind of looks like a burlap, but it's nice and smooth. You have the gold accents. You have 2 sheets inside of these beautiful gold stickers, this little gold clip, and just all this journaling. I will probably take this to work and use it for my work notebook that I use. All right, you guys, new catalog. We'll talk about that more next week because that's coming up on the 6th. And we'll have some fun projects again next week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I so appreciate it. I wish you guys a very, very happy rest of the week. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.